Hey guys, it's Jules. I wasn't planning on making a video today, really, so that's why I'm in the car with you right now, and I apologize because I am driving. I'm just kind of keeping the phone down there. I'm not going to be looking at you for most of this video. Sorry. But something just crossed my mind that I had never made a video about, really, and haven't really spoken about, but it's played such a huge part in my life, for better or worse, and I think it plays a part in a lot of people's lives. But it's sort of like an unspoken thing that nobody likes to talk about and that we should be talking about. So I want to make a video about anxiety. I have suffered from pretty bad anxiety since I was a teenager. And it has gotten better and gotten worse and gotten better again. But about a year ago, it reached a point where it was so bad that I was considering checking myself into a hospital. It was debilitating. I couldn't leave my house. I couldn't do anything. The fear of my own fear prevented me from having a life. And I became so exhausted from just trying to exist every day that I actually started to feel like I didn't know if I could do it anymore. It was the absolute worst feeling that I'd ever had, and I have gone through a lot of stuff, and that was probably the most hopeless that I'd ever felt because I couldn't function. So everybody's anxiety, I think, is different. Mine sort of stems from a hypochondria, a fear of dying, thinking I'm sick. That was caused by some post-traumatic stress from actually being really sick a few times in the past 5 or 6 years. But it happens irrationally, and it got to a point where I was, I would wake up in the morning, and even if it wasn't related to any thought I was having about dying or sickness or anything, I would just wake up in the morning with a knot in my chest, and it was just general anxiety disorder for no reason. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about anxiety itself in this video, because if you're watching this and you have anxiety, you already know the scoop and you understand how awful it is. So we don't need to talk about what it is. What I want to do is just tell you two really simple things that completely changed my life. And, well, I shouldn't say they're not simple things. They are, but they aren't. One of them is simple. One of them takes a little bit of work, but things that you could do right now today to stop your anxiety so that you no longer have anxiety. I'll tell you the more complex of the two first. So if your anxiety is like mine and it is preventing you from having a life, you might get mad at this because it almost sounds so easy and cliche, but when I tell you this is the trick to curing your anxiety for good, I truly, truly mean that. And the trick is to never, ever allow yourself to make a decision guided by your anxiety. Meaning, if you are telling yourself that you cannot go out today because of your anxiety has just made a decision for you. Your anxiety has won. And tomorrow, your anxiety is going to be worse, because you have taught yourself and you've taught your brain and you've taught your body that when I feel this fear, I can't do anything. You've made it into a sickness where it prevents you from being alive and being happy. If when you're feeling that feeling, which I know is so real, of I can't go out because my anxiety is so bad that I cannot do it, you go out anyway. You go out anyway. It may feel like the world is going to come crashing down if you step out of that door, but you go and do it. If you are terrified, if you have social anxiety and you're supposed to meet somebody for dinner, or somebody asks you to go to dinner and you say, that thing that we do, oh no, I can't, I have to, something, because deep down you just don't want to feel the anxiety of having a social interaction. You take a deep breath and you don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just say yes. Yes. And then you show up and you go. And the whole time you might be feeling horrible. You might feel sick. You might feel like you're going to pass out. But here's a little lesson that will also greatly help your anxiety to know this. Your anxiety will never ever actually physically harm you. Your anxiety cannot kill you. Your anxiety really can't make you faint. Any of the things that you might be afraid that your anxiety is going to do to you, it cannot hurt you, because all anxiety is a strong release of adrenaline into your body. You get an adrenaline rush when you shouldn't, and then your heart is beating fast. You will never have a heart attack from anxiety. So just rest assured and believe me when I tell you this, your anxiety can never hurt you. And the second that you decide, I am going out anyway, I am going to see my friends even though I want to puke, even though I am so scared just for no reason, even though I feel this anxiety and it's embarrassing, you go out anyway. You walk your dog. It might have to start with a baby step, driving your car for 1 mile around your house, but get out of that house. You have to get away from the environment where you're feeling the anxiety and put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. And if you do that over and over for a period of time, and it won't take too long, you will beat your anxiety. You will win, and you will be anxiety free. Because here's the cool thing. As soon as you start doing that, as soon as you stop letting your anxiety make the decisions in your life for you, you no longer have anxiety. Think about that. As soon as you stop letting anxiety make the decisions in your life for you, you no longer have anxiety. That's a pretty powerful thought. You might still feel anxiety, but you no longer have anxiety. And once you realize that you are no longer a person with anxiety, which is such a stigma that we place on that, you know, in our society and in our world, a mental disorder, an emotional disorder, the very moment that you make that decision, you no longer have that mental disorder. You no longer have that emotional disorder. So that is a huge, huge tip that I can give you guys. The next thing is just another, it's sort of a trick that I learned, that I started doing myself and found very, very effective. As you know, if you suffer from panic attacks or whatever, it starts off with one single thought, and before you know it, you are spiraling out of control. So the trick is to never let those thoughts in, which feels like it's impossible. But it's not. And here's something really easy that you can do wherever you are, wherever you're experiencing this. What I want you to do next time you're starting to feel those feelings of panic and anxiety is, wherever you are, just start naming out loud the things that you see around you. I'm going to do it right now as I'm driving. Green palm tree, Nissan Altima, the road, white lines, traffic cone, man with a black beard, telephone wires, telephone poles, bird, trees, bush, flower, mailbox. Okay? Don't let yourself have a moment in between naming things. And if you run out of things, then just start looking at yourself. Fingernails, you know, arm hair, whatever. Just look at something and out loud say what it is, and don't stop until you realize that you have not been thinking about your anxiety, and you will realize that you are calm. You will feel that you are calm. That is such a help, especially in situations where you feel like you have nothing, like you don't have, you know, there are other little things that we can talk about. Lavender oil is something I always carry around with me because it's calming. You know, there's little things that you can have as sort of like little tools to feel better and to feel protected in case you have an episode. But if you just do this trick, you won't need anything. That is your tool. All you need to do is be aware of the world around you, and you will see how greatly that helps stop a panic attack in its tracks. So I'm going to stop this video now because those were really the only two things I wanted to share, and I'm about to run out of battery. But I hope that you guys find this helpful. Please practice these things and report back here on the comments. It's always helpful for other people to see if you've tried it, and let me know if these things work for you. And also just know that if you are experiencing, you know, any depression, anxiety, any sort of setback like that in your life, or hardship like that in your life, you are not alone. We all experience it in our own way. And it does get better. Don't ever give up. Don't ever think this is it. This is not how it's going to be the rest of your life. This isn't even how it has to be for the next week. Life changes like that, and any problem that you have can go away just as quickly. It might feel like it never will, but I promise you right now it will. So just keep fighting. Don't let that anxiety make decisions in your life, and don't let yourself dwell on those anxious thoughts. All right, guys. Love you all so much, and I'll see you again soon.